I got an early start as I prepared to continue my journey. For whatever reason, I had thought Kentucky was the next place to go. After thinking about it, it made a bit of sense. I would just make the trip one big circle back to Minnesota. I don't really like big cities, so I found the first affordable Airbnb about an hour outside of Louisville and locked it in. Riverside had taught me a harsh but valuable lesson. If you wish to get the most out of attractions, it's best to go when they're open. Knowing that it would be a long drive and I would probably arrive in the evening and very tired, I opted to buy a few nights in Kentucky so that I had time to experience everything it had to offer. With that, the plan was set and I was on my way. This was going to be a long driving day. I needed all the help I could get, and my day actually started with a stroke of luck. A song that I actually like was playing on the radio.
Happy holiday, while the merry bells keep ringing, may your every wish come true. Happy holiday, happy holiday.
It made 2 minutes and 44 seconds of my 8.5-hour drive go by very fast. Much like the roads themselves, the locations began to fuse together and I could no longer tell where I was or what I was looking at. Maybe this was Iowa or Illinois or Indiana. It's impossible to say, but I was able to narrow the number of options down to states starting with the letter I. It was just at that point that I saw a sign for Louisville. According to Google Maps, I still had a long way to go, but at least it was a sign that I was getting closer to my destination. I needed a stroke of luck, though, and I got just that when a rain started to come down in Ohio. It helped me regather some focus and allowed me an opportunity to stop for a healthy lunch. It was a lovely meal and gave me plenty of energy to get back on the road and complete my drive.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Before I knew it, I was looking at the beautiful hills of Kentucky. You never hear about the beautiful scenery of Kentucky, but it was awe-inspiring. I, of course, came across the necessary cemetery, which was a little concerning as at this point I wasn't far from my destination. I was getting excited to check into my Airbnb in the small town of Brooksville, an hour from Louisville. I anticipated a quiet, quaint residence among the hills, but was surprised when Google Maps led me to what appeared to be some kind of ranch. I didn't make much of it. After all, I didn't pay that much attention to the Airbnb I was buying. I just knew I wanted an affordable one outside the big city. Walking up to it, I was surprised at what I found. A bus was parked in the side of what I assumed was my Airbnb. I didn't know what to make of it. Perhaps this is what modern architecture is now. I wasn't sure, but it piqued my interest and I was excited to explore. Looking around the barn, though, I didn't see a bed or anything that might resemble a room to stay overnight in. I thought maybe I had made a mistake, and just as I was about to go back to the car to explore the surrounding property further, I decided to look in the school bus. It didn't look like a normal school bus inside. Sure enough, at the end of it was a bed. I looked back at the Airbnb listing, and sure enough, it was the right place. The description on Airbnb called it a love bus, and it was presumably constructed to resemble the buses in the hippie times where people would gather to smoke crystal methamphetamines and engage in unprotected sexual intercourse. I have never related very much to those people, but the pending paternity test from a Minneapolis stripper suggested that I perhaps had more in common with them than I could admit to myself. I took time to get acclimated to the environment, and it was unfamiliar territory for me, so my solutions to the harsh conditions I faced weren't always eloquent. I'm staying, in a literal bus. And it's super hot, so I had to take my pants off. Let's see. So I guess down here is a shower. Maybe. Yeah. So that works somehow. There's supposed to be a toilet somewhere. Let's see. Yep. There it is. We got that there. It's a kid's bed. Won't be used. It's like a sofa there, and then my bed. It was good to orient myself a bit, though, and find where everything was. Sure enough, the place did have all of the necessities for an overnight stay. Once I became familiar with the grounds, it was time to have some fun. It was so much fun I couldn't contain my enjoyment. The sun was going down, and there was nothing more I wanted than to enjoy a beer where a strange man wouldn't take it from me and not give it back. The Sam Adams Citrus Lager hit the spot. I guess it's time for dinner. Only one restaurant open. Let's go. Besides Subway. I thought it unwise to drink on an empty stomach, so I looked at where I might go for dinner. There were only two places open. One called Snappy Tomato Pizza, the other called Subway. I decided to go to Snappy Tomato Pizza. The rain started to come down harder as I returned to my residence. Google Maps took me a different way back. The gloomy atmosphere combined with the enveloping trees scared me a bit. I made it back to the bus safely, though. The bus looked kind of cool at night. I got concerned when I discovered that the bus didn't lock from the inside and that the doors in the front were the only exit. My bed was in the back, which meant if an ill-intentioned person showed up, there'd be nothing to stop them from walking in, and I would have no way out. I felt like I was setting myself up to be deliveranced. I took the gamble, though, and went to bed. I woke up to a beautiful morning sky. My first night in Kentucky was done, and I was ready for my next experience. I didn't expect that my next encounter would be one of biblical proportions.